Today we're making lumpia, a spring roll from the Philippines that you can also find in Indonesia. And this one is really near and dear to my heart because it's how I became best friends with one of my buds in high school. So this one's for you, and for you, Joel. So the first thing we need to talk about is everybody does it differently. Every family kind of has their own twist on it. I stayed up late last night watching my Filipino friends argue over this. So you can deep fry it, you can pan fry it, you can pre-cook your filling before you deep fry it, or you can leave it raw and have it cook inside the spring roll while you deep fry it. So I think we are going to go raw for the filling because we are going to make our own wrappers, which is gonna suck. I'm gonna get 2 cups of flour. And now I'm gonna get 3/4 cups of hot water. Oh, I forgot the salt. Yeah, like 2 teaspoons of salt.
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
And we're gonna leave that alone for like 20 to 30 minutes, which works out because now we can start on the filling. Pork is what most people use for lumpia. I think there is a decent amount of Muslims in the Philippines, so they might use beef. I'm gonna generously salt that, add a lot of pepper. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of white pepper too. I like the taste. I'll add some cumin too. I like kind of like the earthiness that cumin has. I'm gonna do scallions, or green onions. Now, garlic. I'm gonna add a can of French cut green beans. Last, I'm gonna add a little carrots. You know, for those of you with like a 2-year-old screaming in the next room, this recipe's for you. All right, now we gotta get in there. I think we can get away with adding a little bit of soy. That's what good lumpia filling sounds like. So now, I'm just going to let that marinate. If you want to know how this is going to taste, you could take a little tablespoon, fry it up on the stove, and then you'll actually know if you need to add more salt or anything. But I like to be surprised. So it has been some time. I didn't keep track. Probably 20-30 minutes. That was just to let our dough rest before we play with it some more. It's not going to have like doubled in size or anything because we didn't add yeast to it. But what we are going to do is we're going to roll it out. No, not roll it out, but roll it into a snake. Eventually, we're going to cut it down to a rectangular shape. So this is some vegetable oil. What I'm going to do is I'm going to brush this one very lightly with it. All right, now this is where it gets really interesting. We're going to roll them out again while they're stacked. Oh. We need an egg wash to close these things. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our filling here. And I want to try and make it as uniform as possible. Roll it. And then, once you get to here, we're gonna tuck in those 2 ends. Keep going with it. And then, as you get to the end right here, we're gonna dip our brush in our egg wash. And we're gonna put it right there. roll it closed. All right, it's time for the part that separates the boys from the men. I've got all my lumpia here, and we have our oil heating up over here. You don't need much, just enough to submerge them, so like an inch to 2 inches is plenty. You can check by just inserting a little chopstick here. You can see it bubbles right there at the bottom where it hits. If you wanna zoom in, ready? Right there, see? Just tiny little bubbles. You can also check with a thermometer, you know, which you should probably have, but yeah. I'm just gonna fry up a little test here. You got our little tiny taquito. That's a tip, by the way, when you're deep frying, always lay it away from you. I think the most common dipping sauce you'll see with lumpia is like a sweet chili sauce. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna do like a little spicy, tangy one. We're gonna do a lot of fish sauce. I'm gonna do some soy. I'm gonna finish it with some apple cider vinegar. I'll take this one. Oh, maybe. It's just so good. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see me cause an international incident.